A white police officer has been charged with murder in the fatal shooting of a black man following a reported disturbance at a convenience store in a small East Texas town. Jonathan Price was walking away from Wolfe City police officer Shaun on Saturday night when Lucas opened fire, killing Price. Lucas's attorney, John Snyder, said in a statement that the officer responded based upon the law when dealing with an aggressive assailant. Joining us now from Greenville, South Carolina, is Dr. Ua Thompson. Dr. Ua, Lucas, who is age 22, did remain jailed as of Tuesday. Records show that bail was set at $1 million. When this initially happened, Dr. Ua, he was placed on administrative leave, but it was 2 days later before information was shared that this officer had been arrested. What should our response be to that?
Well, I know it is a little disheartening that there was a delay in the arrest, but I think we can take a great deal of confidence that at least he was arrested, which hasn't been the case so many times in other instances across the country where a police officer have shot and killed an innocent or unarmed black individual. So I'm hopeful that justice, at least at this juncture, was metered swiftly. And of course, now we have to press forward for the conviction. I am devastated by the loss of life yet again, though, in our community.
Definitely a conversation, Dr. Ua, that you and I have had to have multiple times that I think we would both say that we are irritated with. According to the Texas Ranger
Absolutely.
statement, Lucas responded to a disturbance call on Saturday night following a report of a possible fight. That's when he encountered Price, who was age 31, who was reportedly involved in the disturbance. And they're saying that he resisted arrest and that he began to walk away. Um, Take me through, is this something, this is a conversation we've had oftentimes, about how a officer handles someone who maybe is not initially compliant. This particular officer had only been working in this area for less than 6 months. Should there be something that's in place for these officers to understand how to deal with someone who was not initially compliant?
Well, yes, there should be some standard protocols relative to that, and I believe there is. But at the same time, I'd like to spotlight this officer, 22 years old, on the force less than 6 months. I think we have to do a better job at vetting our police officers. I think in this reform process that so many of us have been pushing for, we have to ascertain the background of these officers. We have to look at their social media. We have to learn about them before we put them on the streets for a matter of public safety, because this is happening too frequent. And it's sad that it consistently happens to black and brown people in America. So I think we have to do better about vetting. This officer, 22 years old, on the force less than 6 months, and already have murdered an unarmed black man, and that is sad, and it's almost disgusting. I would even go a step further and say if we looked at his social media, we would probably see signs of a reckless behavior or dismissive attitude toward black and brown people from this officer on his social media sites. So I think we have to do better about vetting police officers before we put them patrolling our streets and our cities in America.
That's definitely a huge conversation that needs to be had. The vetting, understanding who
Absolutely.
we're hiring, and the training that goes behind it.
Absolutely.
Dr. Ua, certainly we talk about this all the time. These are conversations that are difficult for us to have, but ones that we feel are
Absolutely.
necessary to continue to have so that we can get to an expected end. Dr. Ua, always an insightful conversation with you. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Nietzsche. Always my pleasure.